And then if you want to give him a stretch, then you can just sleep for another one.
That's because I haven't packed.
There you go. 2. Hard. I can slide and guide them over onto their side. I'll check. Do you want a pillow?
Sure.
There you go. So she'll grab her pillow. Pull the leg out to the side a little bit. The knee is at 90 degrees. And then I step over in a lunge. I don't want the hips stacked. I do want to open the whole gluteal region. Remember, as we were discussing, a lot of tension comes to this section in the female body, especially if she's pregnant. Sideline position is an amazing experience for pregnancy. For us, if the hips are too stacked, L-shaped hand under the knee, slides it open, and I can brace the knee with my foot here. And that allows me to be right over the work that I want to be doing. I know I'm working over here on the hip. Here's the greater trochanter channel. And I can find and sink into the meat between the channels. Soft, 1. So that's my shoulder, and then I'm just going to let my whole body sink. 2, 3. I'm going to position my hand right in the middle. And then use my other hand, comes into play. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And she was very flexible. She'd come all the way down. I don't want her to stay there, so I'm just going to guide her as I bring my knees together. And then open my knees so I can work on the spine. Alternate palm pressing. Up the lateral half of the back. If you need to measure, you can measure from the tip of the hip to the lamina groove. Turn your thumbs and then thumb walk right inside the lamina groove. And so you'll position and you'll let your finger sink until it cannot sink any further. So don't be afraid to give yourself a little bit of time just to feel all the way through. So you can stimulate all the way down to the multifidary. Go up as much as you're comfortable. You can always feel free to change hands and do other types of work if you know them. For us, we're just going to work the line of the back and then up and down once. So on the way down. And yes, you will feel different tonicity in the body. Work the line up and down and then palm press. And notice even just the palm pressing helps to create that pressure. Notice in parts where it's softer up here in the shoulders, sinks easier. And where it's not, it's like, oh, I know I can give and then sink through, pause for a moment. And that helps to draw heat. I can feel the heat rising in my palms. We went up and down once. Notice again, her flexibility, rolled her over. I'm just going to use my hand, pull the hip in, turn my knees, turn sideways. Notice my knees are close to the shoulder. So I'm not sitting far back, taking my inside hand under, reaching for the shoulder. And then right away when I interlace the shoulders and I lean so I can sit on my legs, she'll be in the position she needs to be. And I can lean back. 1. Medium. And hard. Lean forward, step up into a lunge, the arm will carry with you. Extend the arm to straight, keeping it soft. Right above the shoulder, other hand comes in, and we're helping to press the scapula down. 1. I'm going to move out, I'm going to move just over to the ribs, spread my fingers a little bit more, and then let myself sink into serratus using the rib cage. And then back up to 2, which again affects serratus, affects subscapularis. I'm going to let the hand come down, draw it towards me. And right here, a very small section between the head of the humerus where the deltoid then attaches, then over here to the space where the scapula is, we're pulling and reaching some of the lat that comes through, some of the teres minor and major that will reach out. It's a very small section between bones, which means there's a lot of tendons and ligaments that will lie here. So I'm going to position my hand, fingers point towards the hip, using the line, the crevice right against my wrist, which will fit into the crevice of the head of the humerus, and I'll feel the head of the humerus and slide underneath it. 1. And then just a little movement down so now I can feel the edge of the scapula. 2. And then back up to 1. Now if that seems a little too much for you, then so long as you just felt that valley, notice how my finger will sink into this valley, you might just stay there and go soft, medium, and hard. But if you can, you'll do the 1, small step, 2, 3. Turn the foot out, turn your body slightly to the side so the hand can be at 90. Notice I can even rest my elbow on my thigh. And now I'm just going to use, here's the whole scapula, my whole palm, and allowing the body to sink the scapula down towards the spine. Soft, medium, and hard. This is a great advantage position. I'm going to bring the hand across, switch hands, so I can chicken palm the hand. Turn the foot in, sit down behind the foot. My arm distance is straight, so I still have my fingers on the shoulder, but now I know the distance because I want my arm straight. Take my other hand in L shape, will fit right underneath the scapula. I can place my elbow into my knee, and if you're leaning way to the side, you can always kind of bring your knee up, and then your elbow can rest against the knee. So you can become a lever, hold, and then I'm just going to roll the shoulder over the thumb. If the scapula seems to roll, I can then push my thumb up into the space that was open for me and go deeper. 1, 2, 1. I don't want to keep rising because I'm going to rotate my wrist too much, so I'm just going to switch hands, and then I'm going to use my other edge. My elbow is resting against my thigh. 1, 2, 1. And yes, since supraspinatus is right here for your grabbing, you can squeeze and reach into the supraspinatus muscle if you're inclined. Otherwise, 1, 2, 1. I'm going to switch hands again. 1, 2, 1. I'm just going to let my fingers fan. They help to pull the arm as my hand slides and turns. I'm going to be thumb and thumb. I'll move backwards. Give a little bend at the elbow as you reach from the top. Let the elbow drop towards the floor. And draw your outside foot at a 45-degree angle. And just allowing your toes to be soft. As you let the elbow drop, the scapula might open and the toes might disappear. 1, medium, and hard. Maybe you take the body in slightly different movements. Move down towards the hip a little bit. Switch legs. Let the foot from the shoulder turn so it can rest on the floor. Bring your foot at the arch. Align it with the rib cage. Give a slight bend at the elbow. And pull. 1. In more advanced placement, this foot stays here because eventually you might even slide it underneath the neck. 2, and then you can give a little neck traction. Back to 1. The head's back into place. Cross the legs, roll over the legs, and press the head